Welcome aboard the WOLFPACK USSS Tess. Thanks for joining us on this journey. As you come on board, please remember to like and subscribe. Let's meet the Admiral Tillis. Chapter 1: The Assembling Storm. In the vast expanse of space, humanity's greatest fleet, the WOLFPACK, embarks on a daring mission to forge alliances and face formidable enemies. Led by Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis, the USSS Tess is one of the 5 WOLFPACK fleets of the sister ships that must navigate treacherous territories, engage in epic battles, and uncover hidden threats. Will they secure a future for humanity among the stars, or will they be overwhelmed by the rising storm? Join the adventure in human WOLFPACKs where the fate of civilizations hangs in the balance. Introduction to Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis and the USSS Tess. Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis stood on the bridge of the USSS Tess, the flagship of the WOLFPACK fleet. He was a seasoned officer known for his strategic brilliance and unwavering dedication to protecting Earth and its colonies. The USSS was a state-of-the-art battleship with the latest human and allied alien technology. The bridge was a hive of activity, with officers and crew members working diligently at their stations. Holographic displays showed real-time data from across the fleet, and the large viewport offered a breathtaking view of the stars. Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis receives a distress call from a distant colony under attack by an unknown alien force. The urgency of the message hints at a new and formidable enemy. The diverse makeup of the WOLFPACK fleet. The WOLFPACK fleet was a formidable force, comprising warships and research vessels, as all tactical fleets does. Each ship had a unique role, from the heavily armed battleships and agile destroyers to the advanced research ships tasked with scientific exploration and technological development. The fleet also included several ships from allied alien civilizations, their distinct designs and technologies seamlessly integrated into the formation. This diversity was a testament to the cooperation and unity among the different species. The distress call. An urgent alarm sounded, and the main communication screen flickered to life. An emergency message from a distant colony appeared, showing chaotic scenes of destruction and panic. The colony was under attack by an unknown alien force, and the situation was dire. Fleet Admiral Tillis, we need your help. They're everywhere, and we can't hold them off much longer. Please, you must hurry. The plea for assistance was cut off abruptly, leaving a heavy silence on the bridge. Preparations for departure. Fleet Admiral Tillis quickly mobilized the fleet. Orders were issued, and preparations began in earnest. Crews hurried to ready their ships, and supplies were loaded with precision and speed. The atmosphere was tense, but focused. Every member of the fleet knew the gravity of the situation. As the final preparations were completed, Tillis addressed the fleet. We are facing a new and unknown threat. Our mission is to protect our colony and uncover the identity of our enemy. Stay sharp, and may our unity and strength see us through. Departure and initial encounters. The WOLFPACK fleet set course for the besieged colony. The journey through space was fraught with anticipation. As they approached their destination, the tension on the bridge was palpable. Upon arrival, they were met with the sight of the colony under heavy attack. Alien ships, unlike any they had encountered before, swarmed the skies, unleashing devastating firepower. The fleet immediately engaged, launching a coordinated counterattack. The initial encounters were intense. The enemy ships were fast and heavily armed, employing advanced technology that was unfamiliar to the WOLFPACK. Despite the ferocity of the battle, the fleet managed to hold their ground, pushing the attackers back. Discovery of advanced enemy technology. As the battle raged on, the fleet began to gather data on the enemy ships. It became clear that this new foe possessed technology far beyond anything they had encountered. Their shields were stronger, their weapons more destructive, and their tactics highly sophisticated. This revelation added a layer of urgency and concern. Who were these aliens, and what were their intentions? The answers were elusive, but one thing was certain: the WOLFPACK was facing a formidable enemy. The surprise ambush. Just as the fleet started to gain the upper hand, sensors picked up a large incoming force. It was an ambush. A massive enemy fleet, far larger than the initial attackers, emerged from hyperspace, surrounding the WOLFPACK. Fleet Admiral Tillis's eyes widened as he assessed the situation. All ships, prepare for immediate evasive maneuvers. We must regroup and find a way to counter this new threat. The chapter ends with the fleet in a precarious position, outnumbered and facing a powerful enemy force. The cliffhanger sets the stage for the intense battles and strategic maneuvers. Chapter 2: Into the Abyss. As the WOLFPACK fleet delves deeper into enemy territory, they uncover a vast and dangerous conspiracy. The WOLFPACK fleet regrouped and began their perilous journey deeper into enemy territory. The space around them grew darker and more ominous, with hostile ships frequently appearing on their sensors. The fleet maintained a tight formation, ready to respond to any threat. Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis stood on the bridge of the USSS Tess, watching the stars through the viewport. We need to stay vigilant. This is uncharted territory, and we're bound to face more resistance. Constant skirmishes with alien fleets. The fleet soon encountered the first of many alien patrols. These skirmishes were fierce, with the enemy employing hit-and-run tactics to harass and weaken the fleet. The WOLFPACK responded with coordinated counterattacks, leveraging their diverse ships and technologies. During one such encounter, Tillis observed the enemy's tactics. They're testing our defenses, probing for weaknesses. We need to stay one step ahead. Introduction of the 4 alien enemies. As the skirmishes continued, the WOLFPACK began to identify their alien adversaries. Each enemy fleet had distinct characteristics and tactics. 1. The Zarkath insectoid beings with organic ships that could rapidly repair themselves. Their tactics relied on overwhelming numbers and relentless assaults. 2. The Draven's reptilian warriors with heavily armored ships and powerful energy weapons. They favored brute force and direct confrontations. 3. The Varelians, highly intelligent, telepathic beings with advanced cloaking technology. Their ships were stealthy and capable of devastating surprise attacks. 4. The Crithians, machine-based lifeforms with sleek, adaptive ships. They excelled in electronic warfare and could disrupt enemy communications and systems. Alliance-building efforts. Amidst the battles, the WOLFPACK sought to strengthen their position by forging alliances with friendly alien civilizations. They contacted 4 key allies. 1. The Arcturians, a humanoid species known for their advanced medical technology and healing capabilities. They provided critical support for the fleet's wounded. 2. The Zephyrians, winged beings with unparalleled navigational skills. Their ships could maneuver through dangerous space environments with ease. 3. The Thrin, a peaceful, aquatic species with expertise in environmental engineering. They helped improve the fleet's life support systems. 4. The Nixians, shadowy, elusive beings skilled in espionage and intelligence gathering. They provided crucial information on enemy movements and strategies. Intelligence reports and conspiracy unveiled. Through the efforts of their Nixian allies, the WOLFPACK uncovered disturbing intelligence. Reports indicated a larger galaxy-wide threat orchestrated by a hidden enemy. This mysterious force seemed to be manipulating the 4 alien enemies, pushing them to attack human and allied territories. Fleet Admiral Tillis studied the intelligence reports. There's more to this than we initially thought. We're not just fighting individual enemies, we're up against a coordinated effort to destabilize the galaxy. The major battle. As the fleet continued their journey, they received word of a large enemy base deep within contested space. Recognizing the strategic importance of this target, Tillis ordered an all-out assault. The battle that ensued was one of the fiercest the WOLFPACK had ever faced. Enemy ships poured out of the base, swarming the fleet from all directions. The Zarkath's relentless assaults, the Dravan's brute force, the Varelians' surprise attacks, and the Krithians' electronic warfare all combined to create a formidable challenge. Despite the odds, the WOLFPACK fought valiantly. Fleet Admiral Tillis coordinated the defense, directing ships to cover each other and leveraging their diverse capabilities. The narrow escape. As the battle raged on, it became clear that the fleet was outmatched. The enemy's sheer numbers and advanced tactics began to take their toll. Realizing the dire situation, Tillis made the difficult decision to order a retreat. All ships, fall back. We can't win this fight, but we need to regroup and reassess our strategy, Tillis commanded. The fleet executed a tactical withdrawal, using cover and diversionary tactics to escape the enemy's grasp. It was a narrow escape, with many ships sustaining heavy damage. Realization of the full scale of the threat. Back in a safe zone, the WOLFPACK took stock of their situation. The battle had shown them the true scale of the threat they faced. The enemy was not just a collection of hostile aliens, but a well-coordinated force with a larger, sinister agenda. Fleet Admiral Tillis addressed his officers. "We've uncovered a vast conspiracy that threatens not just our colonies, but the entire galaxy. We need to rally our allies, strengthen our fleet, and prepare for the battles ahead. This war is far from over." Chapter 3: Shadows of War. With new allies by their side, the WOLFPACK fleet prepares for a decisive confrontation with the enemy's main force. Strategic planning and coordination. In the command center of the USSS Tess, Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis gathered with the leaders of their new alien allies. The room buzzed with holographic displays showing star maps, enemy positions, and fleet movements. Representatives from the Arcturians, Zephyrians, Thryn, and Nixians stood alongside human officers, all focused on the task at hand. "Thank you all for coming," Tillis began. "Our combined forces represent the best hope for defeating this enemy. We need to coordinate our efforts and plan our next moves carefully." The discussion turned to strategy, with each species contributing their unique insights and capabilities. The Arcturians offered medical and logistical support. The Zephyrians shared their navigational expertise. The Thryn provided environmental engineering knowledge, and the Nixians delivered critical intelligence. Integration of alien technology. With the strategic plan in place, the next step was to integrate alien technology into the fleet's ships. The research vessels took the lead, working closely with their alien counterparts to upgrade systems and enhance capabilities. On the USSS Tess, engineers installed advanced Arcturian healing pods, Zephyrian navigational arrays, Thryn life support enhancements, and Nixian stealth systems. These upgrades significantly boosted the fleet's combat readiness and survivability. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Hayes, the chief engineer, marveled at the improvements. "These technologies are incredible. We're not just fixing things, we're making our ships better than ever." Espionage missions. While the fleet prepared for the upcoming battle, Nixian operatives embarked on several high-risk espionage missions to gather intelligence on enemy movements and weaknesses. Disguised and equipped with advanced cloaking devices, they infiltrated enemy strongholds and collected vital information. One such mission saw Nixian agent Nyla slip into a heavily fortified enemy base. Using her telepathic abilities, she accessed their communications network and uncovered plans for a massive coordinated attack on several allied colonies. Returning to the fleet, Nyla reported her findings to Tillis. "The enemy is planning a large-scale offensive. We need to strike first and take them by surprise." Growing bonds and cooperation. As preparations continued, the bond between humans and their alien allies grew stronger. Shared experiences, mutual respect, and a common goal fostered a sense of unity and camaraderie. In the mess hall, crew members from different species exchanged stories and shared meals. Arcturian medics worked side by side with human doctors, Zephyrian navigators taught their techniques to human pilots, Thrin engineers collaborated with human counterparts, and Nixian spies shared intelligence insights. Fleet Admiral Tillis observed these interactions with satisfaction. Our strength lies in our unity. Together we can overcome any challenge. The surprise attack. With the intelligence gathered and the fleet ready, it was time to launch a surprise attack on the enemy's primary stronghold. The plan was to strike swiftly and decisively, crippling the enemy's ability to mount their planned offensive. The fleet jumped to hyperspace, emerging just outside the enemy stronghold. The sight of the massive enemy fleet and their heavily fortified base was daunting, but the WOLFPACK was ready. Tillis addressed the fleet. "This is it. Our chance to turn the tide of this war. Remember what we're fighting for: our homes, our allies, our future. Let's show them what the WOLFPACK can do." Initiating the battle. The attack began with a coordinated barrage of long-range weapons targeting key enemy defenses. The Zephyrians led the charge, their ships maneuvering with unmatched agility to draw enemy fire. The Thrin deployed environmental disruptors, creating chaos within the enemy ranks. Arcturian medical ships stood ready to aid the wounded, while Nixian cloaked ships provided vital intelligence and support. The USSS Tess and the other human ships unleashed their firepower, and their newly integrated alien technologies gave them a critical edge. The battle quickly escalated into a massive and chaotic engagement, with ships from both sides exchanging devastating volleys. The turning point. Amidst the chaos, Fleet Admiral Tillis identified a critical weakness in the enemy's formation. All ships concentrate fire on their command center. We need to cut off their leadership. The fleet responded with precision, their combined firepower overwhelming the enemy's defenses. As the command center erupted in flames, the enemy fleet began to falter, their coordinated attacks falling into disarray. The victory. With their command structure in ruins, the enemy fleet started to retreat. The WOLFPACK pressed their advantage, driving the remaining ships into a full rout. The battlefield was littered with the wreckage of destroyed ships, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. As the dust settled, Fleet Admiral Tillis stood on the bridge of the USSS Tess, looking out at the stars. "We've won this battle, but the war is far from over. We need to stay vigilant and continue our fight until this threat is completely eliminated." Chapter 4. The Turning Tide. Amidst the chaos of war, a hidden weapon of unimaginable power is discovered, capable of turning the tide of battle. Ongoing battle and heavy losses. The war raged on, with both the WOLFPACK fleet and their enemies suffering heavy losses. Every encounter was brutal, each victory hard-won. The USSS Tess and its allies were constantly on high alert, moving from one battlefront to another. Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis surveyed the damage reports with a heavy heart. "We've lost too many good people, but we can't let up. Every battle brings us closer to victory." Discovery of an ancient alien artifact. During a reconnaissance mission on a remote, desolate planet, a team of researchers from the USSS Tess stumbled upon an ancient alien structure. Deep within its chambers, they discovered a mysterious artifact. The artifact emanated a powerful energy, unlike anything they had ever seen. Dr. Elena Sarin, the lead scientist, contacted Tillis with urgency. "Fleet Admiral, we found something extraordinary. This artifact could change the course of the war. We need to secure it immediately." The desperate race. Word of the artifact quickly spread, and it wasn't long before the enemy learned of its existence. Realizing the potential of this discovery, both sides launched a desperate race to secure the artifact. The WOLFPACK fleet sent a contingent of ships to the planet, determined to protect the artifact and bring it back to their base. Meanwhile, enemy forces converged on the location, intent on capturing it for themselves. The race was intense, with skirmishes erupting both in space and on the planet's surface. Ground teams fought fiercely to hold their positions, knowing the importance of their mission. Moral dilemmas and strategic decisions. As the battle for the artifact intensified, Fleet Admiral Tillis faced difficult decisions. The artifact's power was immense, but its use carried significant risks. The scientists had barely scratched the surface of its potential, and there were concerns about unintended consequences. In a tense meeting with his senior officers and alien allies, Tillis laid out the options. We have the opportunity to use this artifact to end the war, but we don't fully understand its capabilities. We need to consider the moral and strategic implications carefully. Arguments arose from different perspectives. Some believed that using the artifact was a necessary risk to achieve victory, while others warned of the dangers and potential for catastrophic outcomes. Securing the artifact. Despite the ongoing debate, the immediate priority was to prevent the artifact from falling into enemy hands. The WOLFPACK fleet launched a coordinated assault, driving back the enemy forces and securing the artifact. Dr. Saren and her team worked tirelessly to understand and stabilize the artifact's power. We need to ensure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Every precaution must be taken. The turning point. As the artifact was brought aboard the USSS Tess, the scientists made a breakthrough. They discovered a way to harness its energy to create a powerful defensive shield capable of protecting the entire fleet. This shield could be a game-changer in the ongoing war. With the shield operational, the fleet prepared for the next inevitable confrontation. The enemy, aware of their defeat on the planet, regrouped and launched a massive assault, hoping to overwhelm the WOLFPACK before they could fully utilize the artifact's power. The climactic battle. The final battle of the chapter was monumental. The enemy threw everything they had at the WOLFPACK, determined to break through their defenses. The artifact-powered shield held strong, deflecting attacks that would have otherwise decimated the fleet. Fleet Admiral Tillis coordinated the defense, using the shield to buy time for counterattacks. The combined forces of the WOLFPACK and their allies fought with renewed vigor, their morale bolstered by the artifact's protection. Victory and its aftermath. As the battle reached its climax, the enemy fleet began to falter. The relentless pressure from the WOLFPACK, combined with the impenetrable shield, forced the enemy to retreat. The battlefield was littered with the wreckage of destroyed ships, a testament to the fierce conflict. Fleet Admiral Tillis stood on the bridge, looking at the aftermath. We've won this battle thanks to the artifact. But we must remain vigilant. The enemy will regroup, and we need to be prepared for whatever comes next. Dr. Saren approached Tillis, her expression one of both relief and concern. We've unlocked a powerful tool, Admiral. We need to use it wisely. The consequences of misuse could be dire. Chapter 5: Victory's Price. As the final battle looms, the cost of victory becomes painfully clear, leading to a dramatic and emotional climax. Preparations for the final battle. The WOLFPACK fleet, now bolstered by their newfound allies and the powerful artifact, prepared for the ultimate confrontation with the enemy's remaining forces. The atmosphere aboard the USSS Tess was a mix of determination and somber reflection. Fleet Admiral Jake Tillis knew that this battle would decide the fate of their galaxy. Tillis ordered all ships and made them ready. This is our last stand. We fight not just for ourselves, but for every being who calls this galaxy home. The fleet's engineers and scientists worked tirelessly to ensure every ship was in peak condition. The artifact's power was integrated into the fleet's systems, providing a significant advantage. The toll of war. As the fleet made final preparations, the toll of the war became evident. Crew members shared stories of lost friends and comrades, and the medical bays were filled with the wounded from previous battles. The Arcturian healers did their best, but the scars of war ran deep. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Hayes, the chief engineer, took a moment to visit the memorial wall, where photos of fallen crew members were displayed. "We've come so far," she whispered. "We can't let their sacrifices be in vain." Personal stories of bravery and sacrifice. Among the fleet, individual stories of bravery and sacrifice emerged. Ensign David Park, a young pilot, had distinguished himself in numerous battles, showing remarkable courage under fire. He was determined to honor his family, who had perished in an earlier enemy attack. On another ship, Zephyrian navigator Kira flew alongside her human counterparts, using her unparalleled skills to guide them through treacherous space. Her bond with the human pilots had grown strong, and she was ready to fight to the end for their shared cause. The final battle begins. The enemy's remaining forces had gathered in a heavily fortified position near a critical star system. The WOLFPACK fleet jumped to hyperspace, emerging at the edge of the battlefield. The sight before them was daunting, a massive enemy armada, ready for the final showdown. Fleet Admiral Tillis addressed the fleet. "This is it. We face a formidable foe, but we are stronger. We've come together from different worlds, united by a common purpose. Let's show them the strength of our alliance." The battle began with a ferocious exchange of fire. The artifact-powered shield held strong, protecting the fleet from the enemy's initial onslaught. The combined forces of the WOLFPACK and their allies pressed forward, their coordinated attacks pushing back the enemy. Stunning space combat and strategic maneuvers. The final battle was a spectacle of space combat, with ships from both sides maneuvering through the void, exchanging devastating volleys. The Zephyrians led daring raids, the Thryn deployed environmental disruptors, and the Nixians provided critical intelligence. Amidst the chaos, Fleet Admiral Tillis identified a weakness in the enemy's formation. "All ships, focus your fire on their central command. We need to break their coordination." The fleet responded with precision, their combined firepower overwhelming the enemy's defenses. As the command center exploded, the enemy fleet began to falter, their attacks becoming disorganized and desperate. The climactic victory. With their command structure in ruins, the enemy forces began to retreat. The WOLFPACK pressed their advantage, driving the remaining ships into a full rout. The battlefield was littered with the wreckage of destroyed ships, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. Fleet Admiral Tillis stood on the bridge, looking out at the aftermath. "We've done it. The enemy is defeated, but the cost has been high." The bittersweet aftermath. As the battle ended, the fleet took stock of their losses. The medical bays were filled with the wounded, and the memorial walls grew longer. The price of victory was painfully clear, and the survivors mourned their fallen comrades. In a solemn ceremony, Fleet Admiral Tillis and the Allied leaders honored the brave souls who had given their lives. "Their sacrifice has given us a future," Tillis said. "We must strive to build a galaxy where such sacrifices are no longer necessary." Hope for a peaceful future. With the enemy defeated, the Allied civilizations began the arduous task of rebuilding. The bonds forged in the crucible of war laid the foundation for a new era of cooperation and peace. Dr. Elena Sarin, reflecting on the artifact's power, approached Tillis. "We have a chance to use this technology for good, to heal and to grow. Let's make sure we honor the memory of those we've lost by creating a better future." Fleet Admiral Tillis nodded. "We've won the war, but now the real work begins. Together we'll build a future worthy of their sacrifice." The end.